Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Have you ever noticed that we use a super specific vocabulary every single day to describe our favorite games, movies, and pop stars? Well, the true meanings of those words are often hiding right in plain sight. So today, we are completely decoding the English language through the wild, earth-shattering lens of pop culture and entertainment.
We're kicking things off with digital crazies and gaming. But first, a quick trivia question for you. Which of these iconic toys holds the record for the best-selling of all time? Is it the Space Hopper, the Rubik's Cube, or the Cabbage Patch Doll?
To really get why we obsess over toys and games, we have to understand what a craze actually is. Basically, it's a sudden, widespread enthusiasm for something that usually only lasts a short time. And psychologists say it's totally driven by herd mentality. We see everyone else adopting a fun behavior, and that ancient evolutionary fear of being left behind just kicks into overdrive. Today, we just call that FOMO.
And that fear of missing out? Well, it is exactly what propelled the Rubik's Cube, yep, that's the answer to our trivia, to sell a staggering 350 million units worldwide. It is literally the ultimate example of a fad that transcended being just a short-lived craze and skyrocketed into a permanent cultural fixture.
All right, let's fast forward to modern digital crazes. I've got another trivia question for you, this time about the demographics of video game players in America today. What percentage of computer gamers do you think are female? 28%, 38%, or 48%?
Surprisingly, the answer is 48%, almost half. That just goes to show that gaming is no longer some niche hobby. It is a massively widespread form of entertainment. But, with that massive scale comes some pretty intense scrutiny about what content is actually crossing the line. I mean, this scale really forces us to define our boundaries, and the gaming world pushes our vocabulary to its limits. On one end of the spectrum, we have the totally harmless fun of augmented reality. Layering digital info and monsters over the real world, like in Pokemon Go. But on the exact opposite end, you have explicit content. We're talking direct, open depictions of violence in shoot-'em-up games that safety boards clearly label as inappropriate for certain situations.
Now, shifting gears to earth-shattering music concerts, that intense energy we see in gaming isn't just digital. It completely translates into the physical world, too. Let's see if you can guess this. In 1992, the British band Madness generated so much energy, they literally caused 2 earthquakes and evacuated local residents. But at which London venue did this happen? Hyde Park, Royal Albert Hall, or Finsbury Park?
We always say that a great pop star can really rock your world, right? As an idiom, that just means they have a massive positive effect on you, making life super enjoyable. But sometimes, they literally, physically move the earth. Take the Taylor Swift Eras Tour in Edinburgh, for example. During her hit song, Cruel Summer, seismologists measured exactly 23.4 nanometers of actual ground movement. Why? Because 73,000 fans were jumping up and down completely in unison to the music. That is wild. But here is a fascinating scientific comparison. Is a concert quake a real earthquake? Scientifically speaking, absolutely not. They are not in the same league. A true earthquake actually breaks the Earth's crust, like shifting tectonic plates or a volcano. A concert, it just causes the ground to flex up and down. The magnitude is less than 1, so it won't break the crust, even though it sure feels like an earthquake if you're the one dancing in the stadium. And circling back to our trivia, that iconic Madness concert that was so wild it actually forced people out of their homes, it took place right in the middle of Finsbury Park. It just proves the sheer physical power of live music. All right, from the massive, ear-splitting energy of stadiums, let's bring it down a notch to the quiet intimacy of a one-on-one chat show. We're talking about the art of the interview. Here's a historical mystery for you. Who developed a method of questioning 2,500 years ago to discover hidden truths? Was it Hippocrates, Socrates, or Aristotle? The absolute secret to a great TV host is that they completely avoid closed questions. The ones that just give short, dead-end answers with zero juicy details. Instead, they use open questions to smoothly elicit those hidden truths, putting the celebrity at ease without catching them off guard or making them defensive. The legendary host Larry King basically summed this up perfectly. He said, "I don't want to know. I don't want a yes. I want a why." He believed the secret sauce was drawing back and asking really simple, almost dumb questions. It makes the camera just disappear and turns a performance into a totally real, grounded conversation. And the ancient Greek philosopher who invented this whole probing, investigative technique?
That would be Socrates. He famously acted like a totally blank slate, declaring he knew absolutely nothing at all, which is essentially the exact same technique Larry King used thousands of years later.
Finally, let's explore the crazy business of celebrity. When you combine those intimate interviews and massive concerts, you get highly sought-after show business memorabilia. So, one last trivia question. How much did Michael Jackson's iconic 1980s moonwalk gloves sell for at a 2009 auction? $150,000, $250,000, or $350,000?
True celebrity status is reached when a person's image stops just being who they are and actually becomes a commodity, literally a product that can be bought and sold on the open market. And get this, it's not some modern Hollywood invention. It arguably started way back in the 1800s with the English poet Lord Byron.
It's crazy how similar the playbook of fame is, whether it's the 1800s or today. You look at Lord Byron with his Byron Maniacs, dealing with mass printing, intense scandals, and a total loss of image control. Fast forward to modern day, and you have Justin Bieber with his Believers, dealing with the exact same stuff: global fame, vandalism charges, and intense media scrutiny. When your personality becomes a commodity, the complications totally transcend centuries.
So, just how valuable is that celebrity commodity? Well, Michael Jackson's sparkly glove fetched a mind-blowing $350,000 at auction. It is the ultimate proof of the massive financial power behind pop culture.
So, to wrap all this up, think about the incredibly dynamic vocabulary we've decoded today from across the whole entertainment spectrum, from the herd mentality driving our gaming crazes to the concerts that literally rock our world, right up to the chat shows eliciting juicy details and the celebrities whose lives become literal commodities. Entertainment doesn't just reflect our culture, it is actively rewriting our dictionary. So, the next time you're checking your news feed, logging into your next game, or queuing up for concert tickets, I want to leave you with this thought. What wild pop culture moment do you think will invent our next great English idiom? The language is always evolving, and we are the ones shaping it.